Hi, my name's Alex Croom. I'm Keeper of Archaeology for Tyne & Wear Archives and Museums, and I'm going to be talking about furniture and its fittings. Most Roman furniture was made entirely from wood, so pieces rarely survive unless your site has waterlogged conditions. What does sometimes survive are the fittings. This is a replica of part of a door hinge made from bone. They were used for cupboard doors or the lids of large chests. Bone segments like this alternated with similar pieces made out of wood, often dyed black for contrast, strung on a central rod. Wooden pegs in these holes were attached to the door and the piece of furniture so the door could pivot. Also made of bone are these pieces of decorative inlay or veneer, some of which are glued into position and some attached with small bone pins, as can be seen by these holes. These are often decorated with dot and ring motifs or incised grooves, which would originally have been filled with coloured wax, so they need to be cleaned with care. Both bone hinges and bone veneer could be used on boxes, and in fact most surviving fittings from furniture come from chests, boxes and caskets. Most common are copper alloy studs, since there could be large numbers of them on a big chest. One example from Pompeii had over 700 studs on it. Studs, of course, were also used on soldiers' equipment, such as belts and on horse harness, but it is sometimes possible to distinguish between them. Studs with large disc-headed shanks, for example, were designed for use on leather, and studs with long shanks for attaching to wood. Studs with lead solder filling and iron shanks were used on boxes, as proved by boxes complete with all their fittings which have been found buried in grave goods. These studs are often a bit battered and not the prettiest of objects, but even unprepossessing finds can tell you about your site. Boxes were also decorated with plain copper alloy plates and sometimes corner binding. They also often had handles, and this is something else that can be confused with military equipment, as helmets often use the same type of drop handles. Boxes used for holding high valuable items had locks, and lock mechanisms like these are quite common site finds, as well as keys of various types, including the ring key, a finger ring with attached key. There are other types of fittings, but this has hopefully been an introduction to some of the more common types of small finds connected to furniture that you might come across.